we're taught that various principles and virtues are good for us, but often it's not necessarily explained in a deep way why they actually matter to us. And one of them is that patience is a virtue, but it can apply in various ways. And one of the things that I'm realizing is if there's one area of your life that you're avoiding, that you're not dealing with, well, that has an energetic effect on the rest of your life. And years ago, when I did 𝐓𝐰𝐢𝐭𝐭𝐞𝐫's Quantum Leap program of seminars, one of the phrases that he is credited as coming up with is how you do anything is how you do everything. And if you're avoiding one huge area, whether it's a psychological hang-up, a technical hang-up, an emotional hang-up, that's going to affect everything that you do, because we're an integrated system. We talk about mind, soul, spirit. We talk about mind and body, all these different things. But the division of those is actually a complete illusion. They all work together. And one of the things with patience, it's not just about being steady. And I've felt this in the last couple of weeks as things are starting to really turn a corner for me in my life. It's not just about being steady and being able to do things consistently, but I am absolutely convinced of this idea that life happens in stages, right? And in order to progress from one stage to another, you can't leave stones unturned. You can't think, oh, I'll do that later. And I remember now, actually, as I'm speaking about this, that sometimes the title for my following day's blog post will come to me tonight, the night before. And I didn't actually write the blog post about what I'm going to say now today, but one of the things that I have really discovered is that you might want to progress, and you might have a vision in mind, but you can't leave stones unturned, because there are lessons, to be learnt along the way, and you have to have the curiosity and the bravery to face things head on. And the specific phrase that actually came to me was that as much as you want to progress, if there's something that's really simple and obvious to you, you can't wait. Do it as soon as you possibly can. Immediately, if not sooner, And the thing with that is it might be something really frightening or challenging, but the sooner that you can get over these hurdles, the more you can progress. And you can see in the way that I've been speaking in this video about this issue that there's kind of a verbal and an emotional, psychological block to this idea. But the more that you normalize things, it's normalizing standing up for yourself. And if there's an atmosphere with people that you're talking with, or that you're dealing with, just say things as calmly and as normally as you possibly can. Don't make a big deal out of things. Just be really honest, but just make it really, really steady, low level, matter of fact. It's funny, actually, I was speaking with every single Friday, my family, because we're in different parts of the country currently. We get together each Friday for a family FaceTime. And my parents were having a little bit of a contretemps with each other. And I said, there's no need to shout. Just like that. There's no need to shout. And do you know what the amazing thing was? They just stopped. No drama. No making mountains out of molehills. No inflammation. No stoking things up. No adding fuel to the fire. We have the ability to do that all the time. And we often think about how we interact with other people, but rarely, if ever, do we actually think of applying that principle to what we ourselves as individuals are doing. Imagine if you took that simple, no-nonsense approach to whatever project you're working on. If there's a relationship that isn't going right for you, just imagine ripping off the plaster, as we would say here in the UK, ripping off the Band-Aid for my American friends, quick and easy. And yes, with certain situations, that might feel fantastically uncomfortable. It might feel like you're really venturing out into the woods, But that way, you'll get answers, you'll get feedback from life when you put in how you want to live life normally. I always remember when I was doing online marketing, network marketing, affiliate marketing, that people were always saying, you've got to get out of your comfort zone. The success is, out there beyond the edge of your current capabilities. But I always thought it was kind of the wrong way of looking at it. And maybe this is going to sound a bit of a get out clause almost, but you're not looking to get out of your comfort zone. No. You're looking to expand your comfort zone. When people get really, really good at things, they get proficient in all of the areas. They don't skimp, they don't avoid, they don't ignore the things that challenge them. They learn how to deal with them. And guess what? They integrate that behavior into their regular, everyday life. And if you imagine that you're trying to tell somebody, you can have absolutely everything that you want, but you have to live the rest of your life perpetually being uncomfortable and perpetually frightened and perpetually climbing all of these different mountains, having all of these struggles. No wonder people give up. No wonder people give up. Go to somebody and say, yes, it's scary now, but imagine in 6 months or a year or, whatever time frame, imagine if that thing weren't frightening. Imagine if it was just totally normal. And I think that is actually a more accurate portrayal of what happens when you start to become stronger, when you start to have more faith in yourself, when you start to trust yourself more, the things that I talk about all the time. Because if you've got trust and self-belief in yourself, well, guess what happens? You can deal with the inevitable challenges knowing that you can succeed. And that to me sounds like a much nicer way of doing things, but also one where you actually get more done and you get more proficient, you develop more prowess, and you become a more resourceful man. That is the point of all of this. So don't skimp, don't save, don't avoid. Face it, do it, and tick it off the list. And the answers that you're waiting for, I tell you what, you'll speed up the process of those answers coming to you. And that does require some bravery. It requires willingness. But I guarantee you, my friend, you absolutely have it within you to do it and to achieve everything that your heart desires.